So we're going to talk a little bit about why finance apprenticeships, and more generally about some of the benefits of apprenticeships, which we've talked a little bit about already. And I'm going to bring Paul in a sec to talk about the benefit of apprenticeships that he's seen across the board, not just in civil service context. But here are some of the things that we're excited about, that we've talked a little bit about already: the careers of existing staff, as well as getting new and diverse young people into the organisation, the industry recognised qualifications. For those of you on the webinar who are saying, well, actually I've got to build a programme in my department, why am I doing this other than there's this great big looming levy that I've been tasked with utilising? Well, actually what we find is, and there's good research to back this up, is that people on apprenticeship programmes, the level of loyalty and retention and satisfaction go up. It's not surprising. People are being given the opportunity to think about themselves and how they might improve. They're being given the opportunity to develop their skills. They're being invested in. It's a really important thing. And we find as well, people tell us that actually they get into a habit of learning while they're on an apprenticeship programme, and that sticks with them, and they really value that. Paul, turning to you now, obviously you know the world of finance qualifications inside out. What is it about apprenticeships that you think builds on that and makes that special?
Thanks, Ben. Well, I can actually go back a little bit in time. I missed maybe a little bit of my initial CV. I was initially a civil engineer.
Oh, right, okay.
And that was my degree. And I did a year in industry. And I built a plutonium store for a year. But at the end of that time, I knew I didn't want to be a civil engineer.
Yep.
And I needed to find a new route into a career. And accountancy just seemed like a really good way, and finance seemed like a really good way and a good route to learn about business. So I knew a lot about maths and knew a lot about engineering, but I wanted to move into finance. I was very lucky. I found a company that would sponsor me to do my qualification with them and work with them at the same time. Yeah. But that was only open to a few. Yeah. The concept of an apprenticeship, which is open to people with a degree, as well as so many more in the population, just opens that door to exceptional training, both off the job, on the job, and also a big benefit of apprenticeships is it gives people time to think. It gives people time to reflect on what they do both in the classroom, learning their professional qualifications, but also when they're on the job as well. So many benefits of this apprenticeship scheme.
Yeah. I think it's one of the objections that we often hear about is to do with the reputation of apprenticeships from before. Yeah. Betty, I wonder if you wanted to say a little bit about the change in apprenticeships and the reputation that they have.
Yes. So I think that some people think that apprenticeship is just for young people, and actually introducing apprenticeships in the new way where you can have a degree, it opens it up to everybody at any age. And I know that we do have mature apprentices already working in the civil service, and I think that's really important. I think that one of the reasons why we are so keen on having apprentices in civil service is that it's government policy that we have. Apprentices are there. There are targets for national targets for apprentices. There are government targets for apprentices. So by 2020, the government wants to have 30,000 apprenticeships. Apprenticeship starts within government, within civil service. So why would we not put all of our accountants through an apprenticeship qualification? It wouldn't make sense to do this any other way. Yeah. And we've got high level support across the civil service for this. So we have a group of finance directors on our Government Finance People Committee, and they have said their preferred way for people to study is through an apprenticeship, and that is why we're doing it. It's the right thing to do.
That's the right thing to do. So it's pretty clear. So if you are interested in Barclays, you should know that you've got great support from the civil service.
And I think in the past, sometimes people have had to struggle to gain funding to get their qualification. Drawing on the levy now means that if you have the capability and aptitude to do those studies, and it's really important that people understand that it's not for everybody. An accounting qualification isn't easy, and it's not meant to be. But if you have the aptitude, there is less standing in the way now because funding is not an issue.
Which is amazing, which is fantastic. As we know people from across different parts of the economy say, "Oh my God, I've suddenly got a huge training budget," which they didn't have before, and is one that the finance director cannot take away from them. So it's no offence to finance directors who are looking at cutting their training budgets, but thank you very much for that. I mean, I think it's worth saying we're at the start of the journey on finance apprenticeships in the civil service, but we're not right. We have started, and momentum is building.